Hi everybody, welcome back to Mission Accomplished. I'm Matt.
I'm Mike.
And today we're going to review Picard, Episode 2. So,
got our notes on our phones.
Yeah.
We're going to check them. Sorry.
We're going to be looking at our phones a lot. Overall, a lot happened in this.
Yeah.
Again, a very dialogue-driven episode.
Mm-hmm. A lot of exposition, a
lot of info.
Mm-hmm. Going to tell you this, going to tell you that. Gotta watch it with the subtitles.
Yeah.
Take notes.
Yeah.
Who was that?
If you're
what was that character's name?
Yeah, if you're trying to track the story through this episode, like, you almost need, like, cliff notes to follow along. Like, there's just a lot of conversations.
Yeah. At one point they introduced a new character whose name is like 14 syllables long. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit, but it was just very funny.
Yeah, so it starts with a cold open, right? Basically, you hear a narration of something or other, happy first contact day.
Yep.
The background is a red planet, and the title card comes up, and it's a base on Mars. I forget the title of the planet. It also says 14 years ago?
Yeah, 14 years ago.
So obviously this is a flashback, and it's apparent that they're going to tell that story about the rogue synthetics.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only one reason to go to Mars at this point.
Because it's still burning and they can't do anything with it, so yeah.
Right, currently, in the current time frame, it should be burning. So it's not burning, so basically they're showing us the event of that burning. So it shows a random Star Trek guy going to a room, opens the room, it says, "Good morning, plastic people. Let's
Good morning."
Yeah, there's a bunch of robots.
Yeah, they all look the same too. I liked how they all look the same.
Yeah, they had tattooed numbers on their foreheads and on the back of their head of what their designation was. Very
the way that they were dressed, and the way. Okay, they. I don't know if you're thinking what I'm thinking, but how they were dressed, how skinny they were.
Yeah, they're
the
supposed
tattoos
to
on
look
them.
like concentration camps.
Yes, that's what it seemed like, and they
Yeah.
all come marching out, and they all go their separate ways to their jobs.
Yeah, it looks like brainwashing. Concentration camp behavior. They're emaciated. They have no will to themselves.
Yeah,
and they're sent off to do work at somebody else's bidding. So yes, very concentration campy. That's a bad word to use.
Yeah,
Very reminiscent of that,
yeah.
like slave labor force trope.
So we end up cutting to, or just moving along with the story, and it introduces the character F8, I think his name is, or something.
Yeah, F8. Yeah.
And there's just some random throwaway characters that
like base
technicians, like technician engineers, whatever.
They're complaining about having to work
on first contact day because everybody else has off, but the one guy's like,
skeleton crew.
You need skeletons.
Yeah, so they need skeletons.
I like the CGI during this whole time. And again, there's another shot. They love to use this in this show.
Yeah, the screen
of. I was going to say real quick where. They're out at a place. You see the big shot of it. Then they zoom into a window.
Yep.
And then the next time they're
inside that room. Yeah.
They cut to the window. I like that. I like it, but at the same time, the fact that I can notice it. It's only the second episode.
Right.
I'm like, oh,
it's definitely
okay.
like
Might be overdone a bit
It's
by
a
now.
stylistic trope they're using. Like whoever picks that shot likes that shot. Like that's their establishing shot, and seems like that's what they're gonna do.
So those characters in that room end up, they're pretty much talking shit about the synth, messing with it, so see how it'll respond.
Yeah, the one guy tells it a joke, what's brown and sticky, and the guy guesses the robot guesses some random techno jargon.
Yes,
and he's like,
stuff that's brown
a stick, ha ha ha.
And he just creepily smiles.
Yeah.
Like, get it? No. It keeps on going, but. So then they take their lunch break, and I liked that how when they went over to get their food, it's just like a modern day 3D printer inside.
Yeah, and it just materialized. The cool thing was like it materializes everything, the tray and the food.
Yeah,
and then so it cuts back to that robot F8, and it's a close shot, and you see its eyes flash, and then it moves to it moves unnoticed. It moves over to the control panel. And starts doing some control panel fancy stuff.
This is what he does.
Spins something.
At one point they cut to him and he's like, blah, 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 blah,
yeah,
like that. And the button pressing doesn't keep up with the hand motion on it.
It's a little awkward. Like
It's fine. I get it. Like
it's a blink and you miss it type thing.
But we're supposed to watch it to critique it, right?
So I'll let that go because it's still TV budget. Not if this was a movie and I saw that, I'd be like, okay, that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But with TV, you got to give it a little bit of leeway just because they don't have that CG budget. Anyway, so he's dialing up a disaster. Basically, he shuts down whatever, and you hear a PA announcer says multiple synthetic labor units
compromised.
Compromised.
Yeah.
And then the crew that's eating their lunch in that room finally react to this dude, like basically shutting down their defenses or whatever.
Yeah, this big guy runs over to him, and this little frail, tiny thing just turns around and grabs him with that
one hand,
and
snaps his neck.
It's pretty funny. It's actually pretty funny.
It goes about with his typing.
Yeah.
And then he turns around and goes like you see the one woman. It looks like she grabs a weepon on the table.
But he reacts faster and just shoots everybody down.
He had already gone to the wall and grabbed like the same weapon. And she turns to go at him with the weapon and shoot him or whatever, and he just pops her right through the chest, and then he takes out everybody in the room in less than like 3 seconds, including the heavily armed security team that comes running in the room. Yep. So basically this crew and this security team that you never saw before are just, plot points to show you this synthetic...
How badass one synthetic is.
Yeah.
And then it seems like, well, I've done my job. And then he blows his own, I guess...
He blows his head off.
Yeah, his processor or whatever, yeah.
He commits suicide, I guess,
So all the red shirts die because they had some, red outfit.
Yeah, they were definitely red shirts.
Red shirts. Yeah. So then we have the intro, which is cool again.
The graphic intro, which is, I think, the best part of this episode. The intro, which
So it then jumps to Picard talking with Laris and I think his name's Ramba.
His two house
people. His two Romulan helpers, I guess you'd say. I mean,
I hate to... They're his servants, I
guess.
They seem to have a positive relationship, but they're obviously, paid members of his household.
All right.
I
think it's...
They're doing tasks for him.
Hopefully there's expanded universe stuff that'll explain their relationship.
Yeah.
I can buy that novel. Sorry. That's what I think.
It's no longer canon.
It's no longer what? Oh, right.
That book is already no longer.
Right. Yeah.
That book that's not published yet.
But so they're talking about the Zhat Vash, the Keepers of Secrets. Oh my God,
they beat the Zhat Vash thing.
I think it was mentioned 23 times in this episode.
I didn't count it, but even this one conversation, they go from talking about the what was it? The Tel Shi'ar, which when I hear Shi'ar, I automatically think of X-Men.
Yeah.
And the 90s.
Isn't that the big, triangle kind of head people?
Yeah. They're kind of look like they had feathers on them sometimes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. In the comics specifically. And
they look like that old 80s cartoon, like Starhawk or whatever
it was. They featured largely in the 90s X-Men animated
I remember.
series.
Yeah. And the video game for Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
Specifically.
I don't remember that one.
I do. It was good.
Okay.
I spent many an hour playing that game. Never beat it.
Well, okay.
Star Trek!
I don't remember it, but
it's fine.
X-Men are awesome. So they beat you over the head with this Zhat Vash. In this one conversation, they must say it close to 8-9 times.
It's a lot.
And so basically they're saying they're a death squad and they're super badass.
Yeah.
And then this is...
They're the super duper secret police.
Nobody's going to be able to protect
you. Romulans are so secret. Everything's secret.
Everything's double.
You might as well not even put secret in front of things with Romulans because it's redundant. She even says that.
She
says that at one point.
She's like, this is Romulans.
And this is also a conversation that is jumping back and forth in time.
Oh, God.
They're having two conversations at once, guys.
They're in the chateau with the servants having this conversation. And then the female servant... Maritz, is it? That's the doctor later.
Yeah.
What's her name? Laris.
Yeah.
So it's Picard and Laris in Daj's apartment.
Yeah.
And then it's also Picard, Laris, and Ramdar,
something.
Whatever.
We're close enough.
In the chateau, and they're cutting back and forth, and it's super jarring, especially initially.
You can't really keep up. on first viewing, you can't really keep up with the dialogue.
Because it's so fast.
They're just like, exposition from 2 different timelines. So let's have non-linear storytelling in a conversation.
With the same characters, too.
Yeah.
And,
which made it really kind of confusing on what was going on. But
and there's a lot of techno jargon. She's good.
Techno jargon, so that I can pretty much say that we got it. We got the super duper secret clue.
Right.
But the super duper super secret Romulan police missed.
Yeah.
So we're more super duper duper than them. I'm just
and
saying.
they're having that conversation
because you're like, who is this random servant? I'm just saying, who's this random servant who's like, I know all of this stuff, Picard. What do you mean?
Super secret stuff.
This is this is just the the guy's like, it's bedtime stories that they tell.
It's a legend.
So but no.
Oh my!
Because he literally says, "My mother and father told her this."
Yeah,
that's what he says.
It's like they're legends to scare children, and it's like, well,
and she's like, "Your mom and dad are the ones that told me this.
Yeah,
they got drunk and told me this, so I know it's true." This is funny.
It's that whole cutting back and forth between the same character, basically the same characters in 2 different timelines, having very heavy exposition dialogue, was so interruptive to the story. Like, I wish they would have done that linearly and just had the Chateau conversation and moved to the apartment and had that conversation.
They might have to do it because of time's sake. Who knows?
I mean, they took
took
the same amount of time. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like, the only cool thing is they actually show you how people get places, and there's like this.
Oh yeah.
This like public teleportation network.
Yeah.
So when they cut to Dodge's apartment, Picard and Laris beam in.
You're welcome, man.
I'm not going to remember her name.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I was looking up all the names while we were watching this. So I was like,
that's what happens.
Wait until we get to this other name.
Oh my god.
Because we're like, what's her name?
We're just going to show it at the bottom.
What's
right?
funny? Yeah. I don't want to show it at the bottom because if I'm saying it wrong, I don't want people to correct me.
I wouldn't even say it.
I don't want people to correct me.
I'm calling her Dr. K.
Okay, yeah. I think she's a throwaway character and we shouldn't have figured out what her name was. Oh my god. But when we did, damn, was it a doozy.
It's like this long.
It's like, yeah, sure. It's like 17 syllables, all right? We'll get to it.
It looks Swedish, too, or something. Like it's got all these vowels in it.
I know, right?
Again, they talk about the Zhat Vash, like, incessantly to beat it in your head that these people are bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
they knew a secret so profound and terrible to learn
break your mind or something. Like,
I'm calling it the whole Star Trek universe is a simulation already.
You're in a holodeck.
Yeah, it's just a big ass holodeck.
Yeah,
that's all those trillions and trillions of beings are nothing more than a holodeck.
Remember Q? That was just the controller of the holodeck messing with you.
He was the architect of the Matrix.
Yeah.
Vis-a-vis.
Whatever happened to Q?
They might bring him back.
Probably. You have to. He's Q.
Right.
Like, if you're doing anything with Next Generation, it's like...
Is he omnipotent? Is that what he... Or
omnipresent.
Okay.
I don't think omnipotent, because they were able to trick him a few times. So I think he's just omnipresent, which still makes it bad that he can be tricked. But,
right?
You know, I guess he just doesn't know all things at all times. Anyway, back to this. So they use some techno jargon and in this really disjointed scene cutting back and forth, and they find Soji, which is, again, Daj's exact twin sister.
Yep.
And Soji is a research doctor on the Romulan Borg cube.
Yeah.
And they call it the Borg...
The artifact.
Artifact. And we see Narek, and they're
already in bed.
They're already in bed. It seems like they've just met. Although we did get a little cue card that says it was like 4 days later or something. So I guess maybe they went out for dinner once or twice and but
I guess there's not much more to do on a Borg cube than fuck. So like that and take Borg apart. So.
And that's basically what they do.
Yeah.
So they cut to where they're basically disassembling a Borg. But there's some pillow talk earlier between Narek and Soji where Soji's basically telling Narek exactly what she does all day, and then she asks Narek what he does, and he's just like,
"Oh no.
Yeah, some things that have to be kept private."
Yeah, can you keep a secret? I can.
Yeah, and then we cut to them like queuing in line to go into like the research area after hearing this like safety lecture from a high-eyebrowed Romulan dude about how everything in this area is going to be dangerous. Don't mess with shit. Yeah, so it's there. She's like the beautiful Borg cube. She loves this place. She's like,
yeah. There's some dialogue about her saying it's like it's
lost,
broken and
it's
lost
severed.
and whatever. I find that beauty. I find beauty in imperfect. It's like. So then we cut to Picard, and he's at a chateau again because you can instantaneously travel with those awesome little arcs.
Yeah, that's like the coolest like.
So, which is actually later on in the episode in a second, but so Dr. Martiz Benignon is how he says it. I'm sorry, I'm not good with names. In real life and
I thought his Martiz was his last name.
Yeah, no, it's Benignon. Dr. Benignon, unless Benignon is a first name. No, I don't realize that. And
I think Martiz is the first name.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I don't sound dumb.
Because they're having like a conversation.
Yeah. So the whole thing. I know this guy's been in the Next Generation at some point. I just don't know who
the face is recognizable.
Yeah, but he tells Picard, "You're gonna die."
You're dead.
Yeah, and Picard's like, "I don't really care. I still want to go back
Yeah.
up to space. Can you clear me for travel?"
Yeah,
and he's like, "You want to go back out into the cold, knowing?"
Yeah.
And that's the gist of this conversation. Is
More
Picard's
than
like,
ever.
"Yeah, more than ever."
Yeah.
So
sign me up.
I mean, it's not too. It's not too much of a crazy scene. There's not too much exposition.
That was like the least exposition in any one of the dialogue.
The thing that it does say, it's like this disease is going to be horrible, or whatever's wrong with you is going to really affect you.
You're right.
Because
you're going to lose your mind before you die.
It's pretty much what it sounds like. Because he's like, I hope this like crazy mission that you want to go on will kill you before this disease does. So, doesn't sound too good, right? Yeah, and they're in the future.
He's talking about violent outbursts.
Yeah, it sounds like dementia or something, or like
it sounds like that's
what
is it the things that the concussions is causing
CTE.
Yeah, CTE
or whatever or something
where
like that.
People get like early dementia and start getting angry. Like that's what it sounds like. Some brain trauma that's just deteriorating his control.
Yeah. So. It pretty much cuts to. Then it cuts to the answer that we get. He walks out of the teleporter. Yeah. And then he's walking over to the.
And it's like this
public
Academy. Square, and and it's like people are walking in and just beaming off. Kind of cool. Neat little tidbit to see that. I liked it how it touched on like the culture of the world. Because you didn't really get much of that until this scene. Like, you don't really know how they're moving around so quickly. We both assumed it was teleporting, but
every time they show San Francisco, and they show the Golden Gate Bridge, it's a solar panel bridge, and the whole thing is a solar panel now.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
And it like it's pretty cool. Because I was looking for traffic.
Right.
There's no traffic.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the bridge for traffic to see what's CGI over there, and it's solar panels.
Oh, cool.
I
missed that.
Something to think about.
Yeah, so Picard goes in the Starfleet, right? He
and he's so removed from Starfleet.
At this point, the guy at the desk doesn't recognize.
Doesn't even know.
I mean, this is like a legend.
Yeah.
And he has to spell his last name, or he doesn't have to, but he just spells it, which. The one little thing I would have liked about that is if the guy at the desk would have just asked him to spell it. It would have just made, because I don't spell my name to people unless they're like, how do you spell that? And it's Picard. It's not like it's
Yeah, his last name's Picard. It's not that hard. Figure it out.
Right.
Oh God, Matt Picard. Jesus.
It's P-I.
K-A-R-D. God, it's not that hard. So he goes upstairs and he meets with Admiral Clancy.
Admiral Clancy.
And this conversation is pretty much Picard being like, give me a ship.
Yeah.
Reinstate me. Give me a ship.
I'll be a captain if you reinstate. Yeah. I'll be fine to be a captain. Reinstate me and give me a ship to go do this.
And this is when I had a problem. But then again, they might have done this in movies and stuff, and I just don't notice.
Yeah, that we missed.
Yeah, but I expect more from Picard. Well, this isn't Picard though, is it? It's a different character. Still though. It's just the fucking hubris is how she replies to him.
Yeah,
and I was like, damn, Star Trek's getting like,
yeah, I
can't sit down with my kid and watch this.
Yeah, and I mean, even if she doesn't curse, the tone is so aggressive. It's like,
oh yeah,
it's shocking. But like Picard comes in there and he tries to instate his will, and obviously he doesn't have much pull anymore. Mm-hmm. And so her indignation, while maybe a little extreme, mm-hmm. especially with the cursing,
yeah,
it's not completely out of the blue.
Yeah,
you know, he comes in with this big request for he wants to be reinstated, wants to be a captain and wants a ship. You know,
I mean, he's kind of cocky, but he probably thinks he earned it or whatever,
he probably,
or they owe him or whatever. But she pretty much kicks him out. Like he tells her everything. He literally tells her all of the information he has.
Yep.
Everything that we've told you, even things he probably should be keeping secret. He tells her.
Right. He just he unveils everything.
And she's like, request denied. And then the ending shot of this sequence is like him just grumpy going down the escalator.
Yeah.
As a ship takes off in the background. As like some random ass ship just takes off in the background. I was like, oh, that's funny. But yeah, he looked like a grumpy grandfather. You good?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. I was like, I didn't remember that part. And I was like, why didn't I remember that part?
Because it's a split second. It's like, he literally moves down the escalator like a half a foot before it cuts that. It's just like a quick, like, half a second, like not even a full second shot.
Okay.
He's just...
I missed that. Well, and at that point they cut back to the Romulan cube. Right?
Again, yeah. And this is where Soji and Friend. Yeah,
and so this is where you meet Dr. K.
Okay.
From the Trill Polytech.
Yeah. And her name is Nashala Kuna Ma oh my god. Her name is Nashala Kuna Modestafi.
Wow. Yeah, you're just gonna.
It was the first part. That was like the first name that you asked. What was her name?
Yeah.
The whole and this is when we started. It like being like, are these throwaway characters? Probably not. We're gonna meet them again. We should probably go back and learn their names. And but so.
I mean, I figure in this show, as limited amount of time they have to tell the story, anyone that's a named character is gonna reappear.
I guess, yeah, right.
I mean.
I just when you asked that, I was like, if this is one of the easier names, we're fucked.
At least it didn't have any hyphens in it.
Instead it has this name.
It has the schwas and
whatever
accents.
The accents above like a bunch of E's and A's in this. I don't even know. I'm not saying it right.
I'm pretty much sure.
But anyway, Narek smoothly says, her name and of Trill Polytech.
Yes, he flatters her and he basically is up to date with what. And her.
He's like, I want to see Soji. I want to see you work.
Yeah.
I want to see you work it, girl.
Work it.
And she's like, you got to check in with the director of the reclamation project, buddy.
Yeah, and he's like,
I don't think I have to.
Yeah.
Can you keep a secret?
Yeah, he flashes his access card at that point.
No, he's going back to what he meant earlier. But I know. Yes,
he's basically he's basically revealing to her that he's more of something, more of what. More
I'm a big dick around here. Yeah. I mean, I'm a big deal around here.
Exactly. It's funny because earlier in the scene, they cut from Soji over to Narek, mm-hmm. and they say I didn't know Romulans could be so hot, and Narek looks.
Neither can I. Oh.
Narek looks like a human. He's got the elf ears, but he doesn't have the.
But that's what the girl's like. That's what Soji was like. Neither could I.
Yeah.
Oh, girls, ladies.
So he looks
ladies. God.
But he looks human. He doesn't look Romulan.
I know. And they do it on purpose.
Yeah.
And his little imperfect teeth, right?
Yeah.
Right? So his imperfect teeth, and she's like, I see beauty in imperfect things.
Broken and lost.
Your broken smile, I love it.
Yeah. it's very their relationship is very like just
it's based on attraction more than anything else.
Yeah, well they just yada yada the relationship.
Yeah.
There's no. You have no basis for what their relationship is besides
other than the fact
throwaway
that
line,
and he wants to keep an eye on her.
Yeah,
and we find out later why and
right.
who he is really.
Right,
but we'll get to that, right, guys?
Yep.
Everyone. So yeah, we come back to Jean-Luc back at his chateau, and he's having tea with Agnes Girardi, and she pretty much says, "I have some information for you."
Not just tea. Mm-hmm. She asked for
Earl Grey. Earl Grey.
So he's like, "Oh, I knew I liked you."
And then she does some and the camera hangs on this creepy smile for a second and a half. She's too long, and you're like,
she comes off as so awkward.
Yeah,
right?
She's supposed to, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's supposed to be in the lab.
She's a.
Her character. Let's be honest. Her character would be some short, squat, bent over, got scoliosis troll.
Yeah.
From bending so let's just. Why can't we do that? It's Anyway.
Yeah. I'm sure they actually have a troll character that they could.
Yeah, and they talk about Bruce Maddox for a second, and the exposition of Dodge.
Yes.
Right, and how she all of a sudden came into existence 3 years ago.
She's a complete work of fiction.
Yeah, and after a bunch of research, a little too perfect.
How much research? Not that much time has gone by.
Yeah.
She must have done a super deep dive, or it must just be very easy.
But she's a synthetic scientist, so she's one of the best.
Yeah,
of the best.
she's doing the type E on the wall thingy.
Because I'm sorry, that's all he was doing. He was just
no, it's hilarious when you look at it. If this,
I want to make a GIF of that, but that's more work for me, so I'm not going to. Hey.
So. The one brief thing during this little tea session is that Girardi gets onto her holophone. She finds something and she just clicks on it and she's like, "It's sent."
And she sends it to him. Yeah.
And Picard's like, "Thank you." And then they start talking a little bit more about Maddox's research, and then Dodge Asha. And here's the thing: where at this point, I actually remembered that Soji earlier in the show was called Dr. Asha. So they have the same name. They look exactly like. And
they both just came into existence.
Yeah. And
had some AI mom. And have an AI program as a mom.
Right.
So then we cut to the Borg cube again, and there's Soji, like you just mentioned. And she's in a surgical suite.
She's got a mask on.
Yeah, I don't know if is she overseeing? Is she overseeing the surgeries? Or is she a nurse who's monitoring them?
I think she's monitoring something.
Well, here's my question. Would you argue with the person who's in charge of the surgery the way that she was bickering?
No.
With that would be the surgeon in the room.
Right.
Would the nurse really be doing that? So I'm thinking she might be hot shit.
Yeah, there's something going on here. She is a research lead or something where she can question what's going on during these procedures because it's they're experimenting based on possibly her research or something like that.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
Stuff
that she fetched.
But basically, they're not. They are disassembling Borg pieces from dead Borg.
I don't think they're dead because the heartbeat.
Was there a heartbeat on it?
Remember, you said the heartbeat's so
that
annoying.
Was the music. They did this pumping drum.
No, that was.
Was that supposed to be off?
Because they're reclaiming the Borg and bringing them back.
Man, it was
It's not. I know. It's you're not sure what exactly is going on.
Yeah, they show you they take pieces off of this Borg that you would assume that without those,
no,
the creature is not going to be able to live. But I guess they're saying that they had the technology.
Yeah. That's why it's the reclamation project,
right.
I guess. And then, in Coming Attractions, spoiler alert, in Coming Attraction, the whole thing is a spoiler, right?
Yeah.
But in Coming Attractions, there's a woman with Borg implants who says, "I know you." You don't know who she's talking to.
Right.
But, they're trying to reclaim the Borg. And then, earlier, it's hinted that that's what's happening because that Dr. K is are you sure it's safe to release them?
Oh, that was her big point, to ask those questions. Yeah. And then...
You're release what? Release who?
Yeah.
Huh?
We're not releasing them. We're reclaiming them.
Yeah.
And then when Narek is talking to Dodge separately, She says, some of us have come here to feed on the dead. Some of us are ghosts. And some of us believe they can be resurrected.
Yeah.
Like, looking at Dr. Asher, like, she was like one of the few people that believe they can be brought back to normal existence. You know, and everybody else just seems to be very anti-synthetic life altogether.
Yeah, and she's like weirdly like, don't call them the nameless.
Yeah.
They were a species. Don't be mean to them. And the Romulans, like you said, hate all synthetic life. So anything that was even like tainted by it.
You know what I felt like this was? Like,
this is a lot of droid hate from Star Wars.
Yeah, but also it's Hermione Granger and the House Elves. You know, and this is.
Oh, that's great! That is yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
tropey as fuck.
Yeah, and it's not nearly
done.
It's not nearly as done as well because you don't have that caliber of actress in this scene.
No,
and these synthetics, these Borg.
Ooh, you just said that Emma Watson at like 12 is a better actress than this person who's supposed to play like a 30-year-old. Oh man, sorry.
I mean, she was good.
What did you get when you come in here? Mission accomplished for fail that scene. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not gonna do that. Boom.
Boom.
No, just kidding.
Scene failed.
I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm all aboard of this show. Like, I don't know. Should we stick with it? Should we stick with this and watch this and spend our time recording this to put this up on YouTube?
You know, like...
Yes, we should. So.
I mean, I guess that there's people out there still CBS accessing and chilling.
Yeah, accessing and chilling. I forgot about that. Yeah, CBS All Access and Chill.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't something bad that... Like, here's the thing. Like, if you're trying to actually pay attention to this show and follow it, there is so much going on. But I think you could also just listen to like one conversation at the end of this episode and get a pretty decent recap of what just happened.
Yeah, and the whole...
It's just exposition.
Yeah, and the whole thing boils down to that it cuts to Admiral Clancy and... it cuts to Picard in the clock of in the clock.
Yeah.
And then he grabs his pin from his office and runs outside and hits it, puts it on and hits it.
Yeah.
And says... Rafi, I need a ship. Don't hang up. Blah, blah, blah.
Don't hang up. I need a ship.
Yeah, and he already made the call, he says, later. Then you cut to Admiral Clancy and Commodore O, who were having a conversation where Admiral Clancy, who denied Picard, pretty much tells the Romulan ambassador.
Senior officer.
Yeah, senior officer, ambassador, something.
He's not an ambassador, just a Commodore would be very...
I don't know.
Right below Admiral?
Oh, is it part of Starfleet? I don't know.
Yeah, Commodore would be. Oh, okay. It's military.
I didn't know.
And she's got the Starfleet uniform on.
Maybe we'll double check in the comments, guys. Let us know if we're wrong and if Commodore would be an ambassador or if it would be.
I think it's military.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know. I don't know how Starfleet.
It really doesn't matter. I mean, because
it kind of does because ambassadors have more political immunity and stuff. A little bit more espionage-y. We could see it going a certain way. Well, like if it's just Starfleet, then it's like, well, shit. Starfleet is infiltrated by what must be the Vajosh or Vajosh, whatever it's called.
You know what it reminds me of is how what's his name pronounces Vaj in Easy A or not Easy A. What's the McLovin movie?
Superbad?
Superbad.
Oh.
He's like, I need to get some Vaj.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Jonah Hill or the other one?
Yeah, Jonah Hill.
Oh, okay.
Jonah Hill,
Jonah Hill's
So this
funny.
is Vaj.
I like Jonah Hill.
I do too.
I like him chubby, I like him skinny, I just like Jonah Hill. Yeah, I'm a fan.
Me too.
So, Admiral Clancy pretty much just is like,
reveals the
here's
whole...
everything I know! And then it cuts back to Picard in the house, but it cuts to a dropping plate of teacups.
Yeah.
And then Laris is like, "You're not gonna go.
Crazy.
You're not gonna do this." Yeah. Picard's like, "You're gonna end up staying here with her, Ramda. Stay here with her. She thinks we're crazy anyway.
Right.
Let's just, I already made the call. Let's just move on.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine." Ramda is like, "Call Riker, call Troy, call
he
the
name
Forge."
drops his.
Oh yeah.
He name drops his.
But
he name drops.
Picard's like,
The whole.
I know they would do it for me, and I I can't do it because I can't afford the cast. I can't. I'm trying to keep
we don't have that budget.
I'm trying to keep the budget down, so I can't afford all those people this whole season. They're obviously going to drop
look
in.
at my contract. See how much I'm getting paid? Do you really think CBS All Access can afford all those other people?
No, they're not going to. They're not accessing and chilling that much to afford that. But yeah, and Picard's like, I can't do that, whatever. So then you cut to Commodore again, who calls for Lieutenant Rizzo, who comes in, who looks human, who's not human.
I was waiting for the Muppets rat to come in.
Oh, right.
Rizzo the rat.
Yeah.
Anyway, a beautiful human-looking woman walks into the room, and they basically just...
She gets...
But they're revealed as being the driving force behind some type of coup plot.
Well, I mean, she said, I have my best man on it. She's like, oh, really? Oh, really? Because I don't trust him, and your last group that you sent out killed the thing we were trying to capture. So, thumbs up on that, jackass.
Yeah, you failed.
Yeah.
And she's like, if you don't want this to fail, I'm surprised you're not overseeing this personally. Mm-hmm. And then, so it cuts to
Picard, and Picard getting a taxi somewhere random.
Right.
And he ends up landing, and he walks over to this, like, I guess, trailer.
Yeah, this is
Rafi. And he's wine over his shoulder.
Right, this is Rafi.
Yeah, and Rafi comes over, she's got a shotgun. She points it at him. She's like, you better have a reason to get out of here.
Yeah.
She's looking
for another woman. She can't believe that he's there. She's like, a little worn, but still very, very attractive.
Yeah.
And she sees that he has the wine, and she's just like...
Is that the 84 or 89 or whatever number? I don't care. Some random number I'm going to name from your chateau. Because obviously it's his wine.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the same exact year that they were... Because that's what this is implying. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it implies that there's something.
There's something that happens.
But she's much, much younger than him.
Yeah.
Much younger. Mm-hmm. Like...
This is like
decades younger.
This is one of those like...
Way to go, Jean-Luc.
This is like a Viagra commercial where the dude is like obviously like 70 and the woman's like 50 and they're like...
And it's like, hey ladies. I love that the laptop's there, I can do that.
Anyway. So,
Viagra commercial. Sponsor us. Sponsored by Viagra.
So you don't...
We're going to get copyright claims for that.
Do they have any actual conversation in this shot between Rafi and John Luke?
No, that's it.
No,
she just sighs and goes...
Come on. Yeah, and he... Yeah.
And goes inside.
Yeah.
And it's implied that we'll see what the hell the conversation is next episode.
So it cuts back to Narek in the artifact, the Romulan cube. And Lieutenant Rizzo's in the room with him. And you're like, oh,
yeah, wow. She appears out of nowhere.
Yeah, like, how'd she get there with him? And basically, they have a long drawn out...
No. She... Like, she doesn't, like, teleport in. You can tell it's a holocall.
Okay. I didn't... Yeah. I must
have
looked down or something to take notes.
We're taking notes, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so she's in the room. They have a conversation. It's a little bit long and drawn out.
Okay.
And it's revealed that...
they're brother and sister.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just like... Okay, like... Yeah.
Oh, her best man is her brother. Got it. Okay.
And then, so Rizzo says to Narek, you can't fail.
Yeah, you can't fail us, we're both dead.
Right. And then Narek is like, it's all in hand. Mm-hmm. Soji doesn't have a clue.
Yeah, and she looks over at the bed. She's like, I'm sure it is all in hand. Mm.
Yeah. And so... That's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Yeah, she disappears. Like she's...
Well, he walks through her.
Yeah, he walks through her, and then she disappears. Like, and then it cuts to them staring, like, right off to the camera.
Yeah,
like,
not quite onto the lens.
And then it cuts to black, and then we have the, preview for next episode that we don't talk about because we don't...
It's just even, like... It's so disjointed when it goes to that, like, coming next, basically, because it's multiple episodes. It's not just like... next on Picard, and it shows you clips of like the next show. It's like the whole season, right?
Yes, it is the next whole season, pretty much.
Coming this season on Star Trek Picard. So Mike, how'd you feel about this?
I was way. I was like starting like I was like biting at the jumping at the bit to like, tell you. It's the second episode. And I'm already like, oh man. Like there's
I
just
agree.
something about it. It's just
the pacing.
I think so.
Because
and not enough weight, and not enough emotional weight given to the fact that
Dodge
Picard.
was like,
I was going to say Picard is dying.
yeah, that's just like a throwaway.
So this is also like a only one season, guys. You know what I mean? Like that's not, So hopefully it's not just like some. I don't know, man. I don't know what this.
To me, what this is I mean, really, like you look at this, like CBS is trying to get people back into Star Trek, and I don't think Star Trek Discovery is doing that. So
Star Trek Discovery is like what Star Wars should be.
I gave up on that show, honestly.
Yeah.
I gave up on it.
I gave up on that show because it was Star Trek.
You're right.
If it had Star Wars written on that, I'd be like, "This is awesome."
Yeah, it's
Because
very.
there'd be a lot more like ways to explain a lot of other things in that show, and
Yeah, and
I just don't
basically,
like it.
I think what it comes down, like I didn't.
Was it canceled?
I don't want to. No, I don't know. I don't want to jump on what you're saying, but like,
No, it's fine. Jump on it.
What was your rating for this episode?
oh, for this episode,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go mission failed. I'm already like, ugh.
I have to say, I agree. It's a fail.
Yeah.
There is, first of all, you don't really like. Dodge is such a brief thing in episode 1
Yeah.
that you don't really get any reason why Picard would have any connection to her besides the fact that she was killed in front of him.
Well, because of Data.
I mean,
Data.
It's just
Data. He hated him in the fun. Like, but Picard's all like horny for Data. I don't like. I just don't get it because he was only nice to him in the movies. He didn't give a shit about him in the Red Letter Media did this. Go watch their video if you need to. But like in their most recent review of Picard, they pretty much set out like just why Picard hated Data so much and found him annoying,
right.
and that he only really did like him in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just funny.
It's just a nostalgia grab.
Yeah.
I'm like definitely mission failed on this episode. It's all talking heads. There is so much exposition in the dialogue that if you're not paying very, very strict attention to
With
the show,
subtitles.
Yeah. And there's big,
Posh mosh.
there's big,
Whatever.
and they beat that, like you get beaten over the head with certain things, like the Jat Vache.
Jat Vache, sorry.
I mean, like how? Oh my God! Like, Cinema Sins or TV Sins or whatever is probably going to give them at least 3 sins for just the amount of times they mention Jat Vache.
Way too many times. I mean, all right. So you and I are mission failed on episode
2, and I'm really
unfortunately, because we had high hopes for the show. But you done fucked up.
And part of me just thinks that they waited too long
For Picard.
for Picard. Like,
yeah, I wish he was like. I wish he wasn't as feeble.
I wish he was like still active.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
it's just
a little bit more action on his part.
Yeah.
But who knows what we're going to get into. But now we literally have the story of a dying, feeble old man and how he's going to.
And it sounds like he's going to go nuts too.
Maybe
like, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, or they're going to upload him into some Borg body.
Oh God! And it's going to heal him. It's going to heal him. Is that what they're setting up? That he's going to get healed?
They're setting up that the Borg has a technology that'll be able to heal him.
Right.
Or maybe it's the Borg part of him that's killing him.
Oh yeah, from like season 1, right? Where's that a movie?
If we can predict this, if we're even close to the ending, those writers need to find new jobs.
Yes.
I'm just saying, if we're episode 2 and we're honestly, like, the Borg are going to
at the end of this episode, I would say the writers of episode 1 and 2 really like. They don't give any space to anything, and it's all delivered through long-winded conversations. And there's very little balance to episode 2. It's just all conversation.
It's all conversation.
And
it's not okay. I don't mind conversation, but it's got to be like interesting rather than just here's information that you need to know in the first 2 episodes, so that we can get it out there, so that maybe we can salvage this dumpster fire of a show.
Right, and
by the time it's episode 3 or 4.
Right,
and then you'll have a good rest of your season.
There's so much backstory to what's going on in Picard that they have to do these exposition dumps so the audience knows what is going on, and it's just not executed well. I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for Patrick Stewart chewing up scenery and just having awesome delivery,
that's the only reason why I'm watching this show.
This would have no redeeming quality, especially this episode.
The only reason I'm watching this show is for Patrick Stewart. As
Jean-Luc Picard.
Because I came back from school,
yeah.
Because I came home from school every day, and on syndication, watched Star Trek: The Next Generation, and he was my TV father. You know what I mean? I'm not like
for our generation.
Yeah. He's a good guy to watch and see what the hell's. I mean, he got pissed off every once in a while, like every dad did, whatever. But it was a good guy to watch and like model yourself after.
Yeah, and plus,
him and whatever Obi-Wan.
Like our parents' generation had the original Star Trek. Mm-hmm. We had the Next Generation. That was our Star Trek. Yeah. And
it's pretty much like this is for you, your teenage kid.
Right. You know, so it's just like, hey, here's some nostalgia. We're gonna drop all these names. Hey, here, look, here's Brent.
Technology's
Spinner,
better. Outfit's better. Whatever. Yeah.
Flash and and very little substance, and just tons and tons of dry exposition dialogue. And so, I think Mission Failed is actually a high rating for this.
We're just disappointed.
Yeah,
we're just disappointed right now. I think we're being a little bit too harsh.
I'm not.
We're still gonna watch. Yeah, you're not angry. You're just disappointed.
Just disappointed.
But that's like
Star Trek Picard.
But honestly,
go to your room.
like, what the F is Hollywood doing? In that every major franchise
has to be rebooted.
Not even that. It's the fact that they're just disappointing now. Game of Thrones ending, disappointment. If you're a Neanderthal, okay, you're entertained.
Yeah, right.
But if you're not a Neanderthal and you have a handful of brain cells, it's a completely underwhelming season and series finale.
Spectacle does not make for
story,
right?
Not at all. And then Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, again, a subpar wrapping up of a decade or decades long story.
Oh, dude, I don't know.
What are you doing, Hollywood?
I don't know if you watched it, but like Man in the High Castle, the final season.
I did not watch it, but I'll take your word for this.
Oh my God, it's the same. Like it's just like they gave up.
Yeah,
like,
and Lost.
Just like, oh my God.
I'm gonna go. This all started with Lost, where they were subverting your expectations of what was going to happen, or AKA making it up as they went along.
Well, like it's basically it's an excuse when they opened up all these intricate plot lines. And they get to the end and they realize they're never going to be able to tie up all these loose ends.
Yeah, so I was like all about Lost, man. I was like obsessed with it.
I caught up late.
Yeah, and then what happened?
Jumped on late, but I caught up quick.
Me too.
I was so into
like 2 years in, because season 3 we got real big. But so I caught up like season 6 or 7 seasons, 8 seasons, whatever.
I forget.
Whatever, some crazy number.
Yeah.
So then I'm like all about it. I get all emotionally invested in the last season. The finale happens, and I'm like,
what?
Yeah,
like,
right? What? The story, the part of the season finale that got me the most was when Jack was lying down with the dog, or the dog came and lying down with him when he was dying, right? Yeah. So, and then I find out like a year later that those writers come out and they're like, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing.
We just had to finish it.
We just had to make it up. Right. We made it up as we went along, and I was like, this is Hollywood now.
Right.
Just churning out some product that they hope is going to make $1 trillion.
Right. And High Castle.
And it's like, what happened to fucking storytelling?
In High Castle, they developed this really rich world and really rich story over like 3 seasons or 4 seasons. I forget how many, like what season just ended. But there's things that happen in season 3, the previous season to this, I believe, that like are really, really cool. They like establish like the one character sounds like he's gonna like start setting up another resistance group for like, like even deeper minorities like gay, and they just forget completely all about that. And this is the Lost mentality. It's that when like the writers get down to it and they're crunched for time, they know the show is going to end.
Let's just do something.
Let's just finish it.
Let's
get bare bones and finish it. And it's
and
just.
I want to know who does. I want to know who does this.
It's just
who makes the decision to just churn this shit out.
Well,
because that's what it is. They know they're not giving their writers enough time.
Yeah.
They know. Like,
I mean, each instance is a little different.
Yeah.
Lost, they determined that they were going to end the show that season. They knew at least the season before they were going to end it on season 7 or season 8 or whatever the last season is. And they just didn't plan it out right.
No.
Now with High Castle, I think the writers just gave up. I just think they didn't want to deal with it anymore, and they knew it was over, and so they just stripped it down to the bare bones of the story, and said, let's just finish this plot line, and that's it. Forget about everything else.
Everything else can be done in expanded universe comics and things like that.
And everything is done there's stuff that's important that's just done off camera.
Ugh.
You know, and it's just like,
I know, it's and this is what we're predicting is going to happen to Picard.
Yeah.
All right.
This is what I see. It's just going to be a nostalgia grab.
Yeah.
To hook us back into the Star Trek universe.
Sell some merch.
Sell some merch. Sell some toys. And
that aren't for kids. Let's be honest. Aren't for kids.
It's not for kids.
Are for 36 and 40, or like 30 to 60-year-old collectors.
Yeah. The Star Trek generation. Or Star Wars generation. The ones born between 77 and 85. You know, like, hello, us right there. You know, it's like.
Yeah, but.
Come on, guys. Really, I really hope that Picard, this show, makes a turn in the next episode.
I mean, well, that's what I'm hoping for as well. I'm hoping that the first two episodes are just
exposition,
all this information, so that we can get to the good stuff.
Story, yeah,
right.
And so,
because I'll be able to forgive the whole season if that's what these 2 episodes are.
Right.
First episode wasn't bad. I get that we need exposition, but second episode is just so goddamn.
That's all it is.
Oh man,
it's all it is. It's just different set pieces and different dialogue expositions.
Yeah, we went off on a tangent right there, but we might keep it in because it's kind of relevant to storytelling today.
And if you're stuck with us that long, then you don't mind.
Really appreciate it. But if you still stuck with us and you didn't subscribe yet, there's a button right over there. Press it. Just jam it with your finger until it bleeds. That's cringy, but I don't care. Please do it. Please support us.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it when you guys already do. I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
And we're Mission Accomplished Media. And unfortunately, today was a mission failed for Picard Episode 2. But tune in next time, and don't forget about our giveaway, etc., etc. And again, I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
And peace out. See you guys soon. Bye.
See you.
Bye.